Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine and Flora. So this morning I happened to be on my computer and going through all of my photos of the bouquets from this whole last growing season. And I was thinking about all of the different varieties of flowers that I use this year. And it made me think I should pick out my favorite bouquets for from the season and share that with you guys. And so that is what I'm going to do in this video. I chose 5 of my favorite bouquets from the entire growing season, and I'm going to go through those and share with you all of the varieties and color combinations and how they went together. So I made a list here of the 5 different bouquets along with all the varieties, and I think that I have these in order of how I made them throughout the season. So we'll just jump right in for the first one. My first bouquet is actually a bouquet of tulips, and so this would have been made in, probably the first part of May. I am in Zone 5 here in Northwest Iowa, and so my tulips tend to bloom end of April is about daffodils, and then into May, right around Mother's Day, is when all of my tulips bloomed this last year. So in this bouquet, I'll put a picture up on the screen. I have 5 different variety of tulips, and you can tell they are beautiful, vibrant colors. The orange one is called Orange Princess, and it was my favorite tulip out of all of the tulips for the entire growing season. The fuchsia tulip with the white edging is Columbus. The top middle tulip towards the back that is white and green, that is Twilight Princess. And then the yellow tulips, I think the ones more towards the middle are Akebono, and the one at the lower right corner is Avant Garde. This particular bouquet was a special order, and I remember photographing it because I just absolutely loved how the colors turned out. And again, that Orange Princess tulip, it wasn't the tallest tulip, but it was definitely my favorite tulip of the entire growing season. I am planting double of that this year for sure. Tulips are one of the most labor-intensive things to plant, but are one of my favorite things to grow and one of the best sellers to grow because I think there's so many just different varieties, but also because it's one of the first flowers of the growing season, and everyone by that time is sick of winter and ready for flowers. All right, so moving on to the second bouquet. This was an early summer bouquet, and I'm calling this one Spring Pastels. This is made up of 4 varieties of flowers. The first one being the Magic Single Feverfew, which are the little miniature daisies. Buplurum is the filler that's used in this bouquet, and that is the green and yellow discs that kind of bounce out of the bouquet. The yarrow in the bouquet is a peach variety, and then I had 2 colors of snapdragons, yellow and white. Now, I am not exactly sure, but I think that the snapdragons I used in this are the Potomac series. I planted a mixed variety of Potomac this year, so I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. That tends to be the variety of snapdragons that I grow because they get very tall and they have very sturdy stems. But I just loved this color combination, and it definitely was the perfect color combination for spring. So bouquet number 3 was different from all of the other bouquets that I had this year, and this was the 4th of July bouquet. And obviously you can tell it fit perfectly with the 4th of July colors. The blue flowers are the Fama Blue Scabiosa, and then there's a few of the Fama White Scabiosa in here as well. Those are a perennial in our area, which is great because I will have more of those even for next year. The red accent in the bouquet is yarrow, and there's also some white yarrow in here. The bell-shaped flower is a white campanula, which I have overwintering in my hoop house for early spring next year. And then the light colored green accents are the white glitter eryngium. I remember when I made this bouquet, and a few of these flowers I sourced from one of my flower farmer friends, but I remember when I put this together, I loved how it looked especially because it was so unique and it fit that holiday perfectly, but you don't see a lot of blue flowers. So to actually have the red, white, and blue, it was really fun, and those sold out very, very quick. So I'm really excited to have the Fama Blue pincushion flowers growing in my garden for next year, because that was one of the colors that I sourced from one of my flower farmer friends for that particular bouquet. All right, the next one I am calling Golden Summer, and this particular set of bouquets, I think there are 12 in this picture that I'm going to put up on the screen. These were put together for a florist order, and she sold these on what she called Farm Fresh Fridays. So I put together 12 of the exact same bouquet, dropped them off at her flower shop, and this is what she offered for that particular week. So in this color scheme, there are two kinds of Rudbeckia. There are Sahara and Cherokee Sunset, which both tend to be double varieties. In here again is the Magic Single Feverfew, which are those miniature looking daisies. And then the yarrow in here is the Terracotta Yarrow. That Terracotta Yarrow is such a unique color, and I loved having it in the garden this year for those midsummer bouquets. A lot of the yarrow that I grow are more pastels or even the white or the peach, but this terracotta is such a unique color. And I'm pretty sure I bought these not as seeds. I think I bought them as plant starts. So if you're looking for a different color of yarrow that's a little more unique, make sure to check that one out. All right, and my fifth favorite bouquet of the season was actually a September bouquet, and I had to include one that was sunflowers. And these bouquets were made for my big end of the season market that I did, the Made and Found Midwest Market. I made 16 of these, all the same, and these were the large bouquets that I offered at that end of the season market. So in here are the Pro Cut sunflowers, and I'm pretty sure it was the Pro Cut orange. Sometimes I plant the horizon, but for end of the season, I think these were the Pro Cut orange. Then the amaranth in the bouquet is the red spike variety. There's a little bit of goldenrod tucked in each bouquet. I have status in all the bouquets, both white and apricot. And then the red foliage that almost looks like maple leaves is Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus. So this was the first year really having a lot of that Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus to harvest. Last year I had one plant just to test it out. Love how it looked. This year I think I planted 12, which if you've ever grown that before, you know that these get huge. So 12 was plenty, but it really added that fall look because it's the deeper red foliage versus the rest of the season, I usually have all green foliage. So I'm definitely going to be planting that again for next year. So anyway, those are my 5 favorite bouquets from the 2023 growing season. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing those, and maybe this gave you some ideas when you're doing your seed ordering of some different varieties that maybe you want to try for next year. All of these were started from seed, again, except for, I think, the Terracotta Yarrow. But all of these are variety, well, besides the tulips, all of these are varieties that you can start from seed. Tulips are, of course, are fall planted bulbs. Most of these are also annuals, except for the Fama White Scabiosa, the Eryngium, and depending on what area you live in, yarrow and feverfew can be a perennial also. But a lot of these are very easy to start from seeds, so I encourage you to try some of these and maybe make your own recipe combinations. So that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for a lot more yet this growing season. I have building renovations. I still have some planting to do. And of course, I'm going to be sharing my full 2024 garden plan with you guys. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you soon.